What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here with another video, and it seems that Valve is coming under fire from Congress this time about the hateful environment that they give to the gaming community. This comes to us from IGN. U.S. Senator writes to Valve boss Gabe Newell demanding crackdown on hateful accounts and rhetoric on Steam. A U.S. Senator has written an open letter to Valve boss Gabe Newell asking for more stringent moderation of Steam. Mark Warner, the United States Senator from Virginia, demanded Valve crack down on what he called hateful accounts and rhetoric proliferating on Steam. Warner alleged that Steam is home to tens of thousands of groups that share and amplify anti-Semitic, Yahtzee, sexually or gender-based hate, and white supremacist content. And he called on Valve to bring its content moderation standards in line with industry standards and crack down on the rampant proliferation of hate-based content. Warner's letter follows a report from the Anti-Defamation League, ADL, that identified over 1 million unique user accounts and nearly 100,000 user-created groups that glorified anti-Semitic, Yahtzee, white supremacist, gender, and sexually based hatred on other extremist ideologies on Valve Steam's platform. Yeah, I think that was like less than 10% or between 5 and 10% or something like that of Steam's user base, which, comparatively is absolutely tiny. Also, the Anti-Defamation League, I don't know what they really consider to be all of that they just listed. They are known for being huge anti-free speech lefties. They are a establishment Democrat lefty supporter organization. It's well known in their donations to politicians. And like I said, they are very, very anti-free speech. Which is funny because they started as an anti-defamation league. So you think they would be pro-freedom, pro-equality, right? When, just like everything else on the left has become now, they're actually anti-freedom, anti-equality. And yes, by the way, Mark Warner is a Democrat. And a lot of this scrutiny over Valve and its freedom of speech and how their users want to actually, organize their content, organize their profiles and all that, it's all coming from the left. It remains to be seen whether Valve responds to Warner's letter, which is the third sent by Congress to the company in the last 3 years. And guess which party and the senators of that party were the ones that sent those letters every single time? You guessed it, it was the Democrats. Because as Warner states up here, we have seen on other social networking platforms that lacks enforcement of the letter of user conduct agreements when coupled with seeming reluctance by those companies to embrace the spirit, namely providing users with a safe, welcoming place to socialize. Of those same agreements leads to toxic social environments that elevate harassment and abuse. You should want your users and prospective users to not have to wonder if they or their children will be harassed, intimidated, ridiculed, or otherwise face abuse. Again, this is all based around what the left considers toxic social environments and elevated harassment and abuse, which could be considered things like using the wrong pronouns. Any kind of social setting on these kinds of platforms has the ability to report people for these kinds of abuses and etc. And I'm talking like actual real abuses and toxic behavior, not the stuff these lefties are talking about. But they don't want to just have those abilities to report and things like that. They want actual crackdown and censorship of accounts before they're even able to say anything or interact with others. Warner's letter threatens Valve with more intense scrutiny from the federal government if it fails to take meaningful action against hate content, which is tantamount to saying they're going to do absolutely nothing. Because what does more scrutiny even mean? It doesn't mean you're going to take any actual financial or legal action against Valve or Steam. And guess what? Warner and the other Democrats who sent the letters before, their party isn't in power right now. So at least for the next 4 years probably, there's not really anything they can do about Valve or Steam. It's just a bunch of hot air that they're blowing right now. And Warner is essentially an angry old man shouting at clouds. Also, The Verge points out First Amendment protections prevent the government from punishing companies for hosting legal, albeit hateful, speech. Yes, in the United States, under the First Amendment, you cannot have any actual legal or financial punitive measures against a company just because you don't like the things that people say on their platform. It's also one of the things that makes this country great, that people don't get arrested for their Facebook posts. But the truth is here, this is all just bluster and hot wind, like I said. They're not going to be able to do anything about Valve or Steam's platform. It's all them just whining and crying over the fact that people have freedom to make whatever kind of profile they want and say whatever they want on Valve and Steam as long as it's legal. Their party isn't in power, and there's really nothing that they can do about it. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it. We'll talk to you again later.